First, hold the stem firmly, he murmured, using cowboy jargon for the stem of the fruit. His breath was slightly warm, and I was attentive to every lesson. Then he picked the berries calmly, his fingers gliding over the fruit, simulating a delicate pressure that made me bite my lip. Here was another fascinating account of one of those isolated farms in the far reaches of Texas. The afternoon sun clung to my skin like spilled honey, and I knew that each step toward the porch of Lone Star Ranch was an invitation I couldn't refuse. The reddish dust of the desert rose between my bare toes, and the dress, which had never made a fool of me, was so elegant that it barely hid my curves, clinging like a second skin. Tom stood at the top of the steps, wearing a straw hat and muddy boots, his eyes hidden beneath the brim, like a predator sizing up his prey. "I'm here to stay for a few days. I don't think I need to ask, do I?" he said, climbing the steps slowly, allowing the sun to highlight his cleavage, where a drop of sweat was running down. "My mother said you could use some company and some financial help." He didn't smile. He was approaching 54, a man made of endurance and silence, the owner of lands that seemed endless. But I saw the hesitation creep into his gaze, coffee brewed dark as the bottom of a well, when my leg brushed against his as I entered the house. The living room smelled of beeswax and loneliness. Old photographs adorned a corner, a habit of his. The ceiling fan turned slowly, slicing the hot air into useless pieces. "The bedroom is down the hall," he grumbled, tossing my suitcase on the floor. "Dinner at 7, but I didn't come to the meal." The first few days were subtly tense. In the mornings, I picked apricots in the orchard, my fingers smeared with sugary pulp, my dress riding up to reveal the clear marks of my thighs. In the afternoons, I helped sort coffee beans on the patio, bending over in a way that made the buttons on my top give way under the strain. I knew that in my heart he pretended not to notice, but I could hear his teeth grinding as I passed him. The smell of my sweat, a mixture of jasmine and temptation, left a trail more persistent than the perfume of magnolia blossoms. On the fourth afternoon, he led me to the old reservoir. The water was still, green as his eyes as he stared at me. "Watch out for snakes," he warned, pointing to the reeds. "Watch out for me, you mean?" I laughed, dropping my straw hat as I bent down to pick it up. The neckline revealed two massive globes that defied gravity, shining like apricot skin in the sun, young and firm. I knew I held power in my hands. He cleared his throat, looked away, but did not move away. It was in the orchard, under the trees, that whispered secrets in the native language, that the forest began to heat up more than usual. I was stretching my arm to reach a ripe fruit, my dress stuck to my back with sweat, when he appeared from behind. "You don't know how to pick," he said in that rough voice of someone who always gave orders. His large, calloused hand encircled mine, guiding it to the stem of the apricot. "First, hold the stem firmly," the words of the workers to the thick stem, coming out like a hoarse verse from his lips. His plaid shirt pressed my fabric against the tree, and I could feel the heat, the smell of earth, and that which I was seeking so much: adventure and knowledge. Of course, I needed to absorb something, besides tasting corn. Then he went on, his fingers sliding from the stem to the fruit, gently plucking the berries. His hand squeezed the apricot until the juice leaked out, and I understood what he was teaching me, even before his beard touched my neck. It was a slow moment, salty with sweat and sweet with pulp, and I turned, unbuttoning his plaid with an urgency that made the buttons jump like seeds in the wind. "Call him Tom," he ordered as the name escaped my lips in the way I had long been accustomed to. The earth beneath the trees was soft with dry leaves. I lay down calmly as if handling a precious flower, and the dress slid away, like the bark of a tree. For the first time, I saw hesitation in the one who commanded machines and men with a voice like a storm. "You started it, but I whispered, arching my back before the sun could evaporate my courage. The world was reduced to the rhythm of the leaves rustling, the moaning of the cicadas and the sweat that ran down my spine, as if I were riding a horse in the middle of the forest. He, accustomed to directing the harvests, let himself be led by me, my nails scratching his skin, my hips teaching a new rhythm. When the heat reached its peak, it was like the first summer rain, first soft, then torrential, washing away the dust of years of isolation. Lying beside me with leaves clutched to his chest, he looked at me as if I were a dream about to fade. "Are you leaving tomorrow?" he asked, trying to hide the anxiety in his voice. I picked up a fallen apricot, bit into the pulp, and let the juice run down my chin, going a little further down, near the region I had explored so much. "As long as there is fruit on the tree," I replied, standing up in the filtered light of the leaves. That night on the porch where it all began, he found me dancing alone to the sound of the old radio. I was wearing an even thinner fabric, the one I had kept in my purse in case I managed to achieve my goal, and when he played, it was better than ever. "I learned something today," I whispered, guiding his fingers to the zipper on my back. "A countryman really likes a slow harvest," he laughed, a hoarse and unusual sound, and for the first time the big house seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, while the fireflies traced luminous lines in the sky. I learned that some seeds, once planted, never stop growing even in the most arid lands. After almost half an hour of effort, even with the fan running at full blast, I sweated a lot and drank all the juice from the pulp he offered me. Did you like this story? So, leave a comment telling us what you thought, and if you have experienced something similar, share it with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any new content. Here, we always bring life stories, reflections, and real experiences, all with great sincerity. Thank you for watching until the end and for being part of this journey. See you in the next video.